I'm trying to build up a creative community here in the Dallas area where my space can be that creative hub.
Yeah. Okay. Cimone, we are ready to kick things off. To anybody listening, we have Cimone on, and welcome to Going Places, Cimone.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You are welcome. Okay, cool. Jesus, why don't you take us home? We like to get our guests on our feet a little bit right off the bat, as you could tell. It is a bio-free zone. We're not going to go over stories or anything of that nature. We think that folks everywhere can find out who you are, what you do, and why you do it. We're here to more discuss the purpose and the mission behind it all. But before we do that, we like to keep everybody on their toes as much as we can. So, Jesus, why don't you kick us off and bring us on to help us do that?
Yes. So to get the conversation flowing, Simone, I'm just going to hit you with a few questions really quickly. Just answer them however you see fit. Favorite season? Rapid fire. Let's go. So favorite season?
Spring,
baby. Yes. Is double dipping ever acceptable at a party?
Oh, no. What in the world?
What's the best decade? Your 20s or your 30s?
I just hit 30, so I don't know. I'll say 20s.
All right. Sunrises or sunsets?
Ooh, sunrise. I love sunrise. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's when I work out.
She's a morning person.
Yep,
She's a morning person.
Breakfast or dinner?
I think that's a given.
I would say breakfast.
Okay. All right.
Huh?
You thought I was gonna say dinner?
No, I thought you were gonna say breakfast because it wouldn't make sense.
Because I'm a morning person, right? Yeah.
Yeah. If you like sunrises and you're trying to say dinner, I'd be like, what's going on?
All right. Dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs. That's hands down dogs.
Ask for permission or beg for forgiveness?
That's always tricky for me. Ask. Yeah.
Permission? Ask for permission? Okay.
Yeah, ask for permission.
Wow.
Are tomatoes a fruit or a vegetable?
You said tomatoes are fruit.
Okay, all right. Tupac or Biggie?
I'm educated.
I thought they were always a vegetable in my house. Like, I'm not eating that. That's a vegetable. Tupac or Biggie?
Oh, Tupac.
Okay. Jordan or LeBron?
Jordan.
Okay. She just turned 30, but she said Jordan over LeBron. Okay, I gotta respect that.
You act like I'm a baby.
I gotta respect that. Okay, all right.
Come on. All right. Well, you're crushing rapid fire. Now I got one out of the gate for you then, Cimone. Okay. I feel like oftentimes on these shows, folks just talk so repeatedly on things like, what do you do in the morning, etc., and what do you do in the evening? All that stuff's great. But what is one, I've never met a successful person or a fulfilled person for that matter, who doesn't have bad habits as well. So what's one bad habit that you refuse to give up?
Reality shows.
Ooh.
No, I like the drama. I love the drama.
Shit. She's in the drama. Okay, are we talking like Keeping Up with the Kardashians or what?
Yeah, or Real Housewives or basketball. It's horrible because it's not a good light for Black women, but it's enjoyable. I've been watching it since college, so I'm like kind of hooked on it.
Nah, say less. It's all good. I love TV and movies. I refuse to give them up myself, and I also don't wake up early. Hey, Jesus, what's a bad habit you refuse to give up? I feel like we ask everybody this, but we don't ever ask each other.
A bad habit I refuse to give up. I listen to music a little too loud, probably, for my neighbors.
What's this guy? Well, yo, that's like.
I'm just not gonna give that up.
Yo, that's like an answer you would tell somebody in your job interview. Like, what's a weakness that you have? It's like, what's a weakness? I work too hard.
That volume is on 10, my guy.
Are you the one like bumping down the street? Like, who is this acting good?
And like in the car, in the whip.
Yeah, exactly.
With my windows up though, they're not like rolled down yet. Not everyone can hear it. You can hear the bass though. What about you, Nick? What bad habits do you have then?
TV, movies. I try to golf directly in the middle of the day, inappropriately when I shouldn't be. I could go on for days. But anyways, Cimone, thank you for enjoying that as for what it was. By the way, we like to keep these fun and enjoyable, as you can see, but I mean, really at the core, we think that a company is, and it's easy to forget this, but I know that you know it all too well. A company is largely made up of people, and at the core, a definition of a company is really just a group of people. depending on how you look at it.
Mhm.
And it's easy to forget that. And since the beginning of the time, well before organizations and companies and structures, people came together and they stuck together based on whether or not they had shared emotions, right? I feel like
Mhm.
emotions are what kind of band us together. So the emotion we love to play off of is like, what moves you? And if we can move one another, I think that we're doing right by one another daily. I'm familiar with your body of work, as is Jesus. I think it's immensely impressive um, that you've done what you've done,
For such a
that you've
short amount of
made,
time.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that correct, Jesus, and that you've taken something as commonly available, such as graphic design, because it's something that anybody can inherently learn, but you've become so world class at it with the group that you work with to the
Mhm.
point where you've been to scale up and work with Fortune 100s, Fortune 500s, which is an artist's dream. You know, like
Yeah,
long,
definitely.
long are the days over for you of being a starving artist, which I think is beautiful. So I wanted to acknowledge you, and I think it's really special about you. My question is this: amidst it all, Cimone, working with these Fortune 100s, Fortune 500s, because what I understand, you've worked with the NFL, Neiman Marcus, etc.
Mhm.
Um, what has actually been the moment for you? Because in mine, Jesus's experience, it's never actually those moments where we actually land the client personally or we do the work. It's always been these micro moments that have meant the most to me in the journey.
Mhm.
Do you have one of those micro moments that you could think back to that have really meant everything to you that you just can't seem to let go of amidst all of the success that everybody thinks that
I
they
would
want?
say overall, just I really love inspiring others. I know that sounds kind of cliche, but just making people realize that it's possible. I wouldn't say it's like a micro moment. It's like I live in it every day. Just having like people DMing me or like reaching out to me or coming up to the studio randomly and just loving the space, loving who I am, and just saying like you really inspire me. And like you said, I've accomplished so much before the age of 30. And so it just shows them that they can do it too. And that's what I'm all about because I want to diversify this industry. And so if they see that I'm doing it, then like I said, they feel like they could do it too.
So, what
And what
inspires you?
What inspires me? That's
Yeah.
what inspires me. That's what motivates me.
what are some of the challenges though, as you know, a young Black female graphic designer entrepreneur uh, who has to go and land these big clients? Like, what are some of the challenges that you've encountered starting off, and how have those challenges evolved over time? Now that you've been in business for what, over 5 years now?
Mhm. I would say so. I started my business when I was 24 years old. When I first started, my age was, I wouldn't say not a downfall, but people really didn't take me seriously. Like they saw my work, but if I'm talking to like a CEO of a company, they would kind of look down on me and not, like I said, not really take me seriously. And they also being a Black woman, I've noticed that we get paid a whole lot less.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm actually fighting for, is to be able to have all these Fortune 500 companies, just like any other other ethnicity that's out there, advertising agencies that have that. Like they have Fortune 500 companies and they're making a large amount of money. And so that's my like large push, is that we are just as talented as them. And so why can't we make the same amount of money as them for on a project?
And especially for projects and brands that are designed for us, right?
Exactly.
Who
Exactly.
better to? So I know you worked with Sally Beauty, right? So like who better to design kind of ethnic products than ethnic people, right? Now, question. So now that you have worked with these larger companies, so you said now you're kind of your challenge is to make sure that you're being compensated equally, is what you're saying.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's a
Being
struggle. Okay,
compensated equal.
cool.
And having the same respect as well.
Hmm. And so are you a one person team? Talk to us about your studio and your company. How is it structured?
So I have a 4-person in-house team.
Nice.
So it's me as a graphic designer, as well as I have a junior graphic designer. She was here as an intern. So she's been here for 2 years. May actually will make her 2nd year. So I'm happy about that. I have a office. Well, she does sales. She has multiple, when you're a small business, you wear multiple hats. So the people that work here wears like 3 or 4 hats, just the same. So she is Stephanie. That's the one that you saw walking in the background. She does sales and marketing and help me with like the office, because we have a studio where it's a rentable studio, and we have like a podcast area and a photography area. And so people like to rent out the space. We also have a project manager that works with me, and also an assistant. She's assistant and project manager. I also have over 40 plus subcontractors that I work with internationally. So they help me with photography, videography, motion graphics, anything and everything. We try to be that one-stop shop. App design and development, we just started in 2021. So we like to just spread across, reaching out to different subcontractors to help us with our clients' needs.
Nice. So the team is growing.
Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Awesome.
There it is. She's going places, people.
Awesome.
So Cimone, when you create art, like graphic design is really just, it's art, it's painting, right? And what are you trying to communicate to people? Like, do you have a core message that you want people to feel when they see what you make?
I mean, it just depends on the client. We talk to our clients and figure out what overall perception they're trying to convey to their target audience, and whatever they're trying to convey, then that's what we push towards. We use different, logo questionnaires or website questionnaires, and figure out what is the actual core value of, what actually do they want to be perceived as. So we work with multiple industries, so it could be any type of perception or tone or mood that they're trying to convey.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I could relate. I used to run a production house here in Toronto, and we would work with clients, and we'd have to take the brand imaging and what they wanted from a deliverable standpoint and find a way to put it into creative. Do you, going back to kind of finding yourself being financially paid as a Black woman and getting what you deserve, what's that journey been like for you? Like, are you deliberately constantly, how do you ask for more money in a professional manner?
I mean, I give them my estimate and I try to negotiate a little bit, but overall, I know that my prices are way lower than other agencies, and you're getting the same type of quality of work. I did have a friend that said, just get all the money. And because you're trying to build something, and you already have a attraction or, those connections with those larger companies. If they're paying you, $20,000, but they're paying this other company 50 or 60, just get what you can and build from there. It's going to be a slow build, but constantly build. So I don't know if I agree with that, because I just know, working with advertising agencies, I was in advertising agencies and I seen how much they charge. And so I try to charge the same thing, and I get turned down like completely. So it is always a struggle. And then sometimes I get it. I'll be surprised. I'm like, oh, okay. Y'all about to pay $50,000. Okay. So it is a struggle. I feel like every single time I send out an estimate.
Do you ever get nervous when you're presenting a price?
Oh, definitely. Every single time. Every single time.
By the way, John and I have been we've been negotiating, closing deals for a while. And I have like a rule of thumb. It's like, if it doesn't sting a little bit, if it doesn't sting the other person a little bit, then you didn't negotiate hard enough. Like if they're if I say my price and you're like, okay, good, let's do it.
Exactly.
Then I know I didn't ask for enough money.
That's how I know. That happens too.
If they're like, okay, all right, then I know I asked for enough money.
Yes, I like that rule of thumb. So how do you price your creative work then, Cimone? Because I feel like that's a struggle. It's a wild, creative work is a wild west so far as I'm concerned. Like it's tough to price. So how do you do it?
So there's actually a book. I forgot what it is called.
That's
but it's
okay.
a
We
free,
could call it the Book of Simone.
but it's a
Getting that
freelance
bag.
pricing book. And so I started from that. It shows you everything that a graphic designer creates, like any type of print collaterals, any web design, web banners, etc. Anything that you've created, it's basically priced out from local to regional to international. And so I start my base price off of that, and I pull from there, and then sometimes I go up just based on the client, like go up on the price. So yeah.
Nice. We're gonna call that the book of getting the bag.
All right, look. We're gonna call it the Book of the Get in the Bag. Simone's
But,
Principles is gonna be the subheading.
So Simone, right, just to circle back a bit, right? Because I do want to, we don't do bios, but we do want to take the chance to let people know what you're working on. So you're an entrepreneur and graphic artist, creator of the Black Creative Table podcast, correct?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Cool. You lead a branding and design agency, founder and CEO of CK Creative Studios in Dallas, right? You worked with several big clients,
Mm-hmm.
right? So one of my favorites is the city of Dallas. Talk to me a little bit about that project you did with them. How was that? Like, did that put you on the map? Like, talk to me a little bit about, because that seems like something that, like, was that right up your alley? How did you land that? That to me is impressive.
So I actually got that job from, what was that? Thumbtack. I don't know if you heard of Thumbtack.
I can't remember. What's the Thumbtack again? What's that again?
So Thumbtack, you sign up and you say what your type of service, like what you offer, your services. So it can be from house cleaning to handyman to graphic designer.
So it's it's like a more like a better version of like Fiverr or like Upwork or something like that. Similar?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And you basically bid for it, but they actually reached out to me through Thumbtack. And
how did they know to find you? How did they find you?
I don't even know.
How did we find you, right? How did we
find that's what I want to know.
But you must have been working. You must have been making moves. You must have been hustling.
It was actually my first, I would say my first or second project in my first year in business. That's how I knew I was moving in the right direction. I worked with Salad Beauty in my first year. I worked with City of Dallas in my first year, and Boys and Girls Club. And I would say for that I worked on Martin Luther King Jr. parade and celebration for the City of Dallas. And it was back in 2016. There's actually a story behind that. A lot of people don't know this, that the North and the South one had a Martin Luther King parade for white people. And then there was some people don't know this. And then there was a, Martin Luther King parade for the South, the Black, like Oak Cliff. And so when I created the brand, it was only me, myself, and I. And I created the website, the branding, social media design, just everything, print collaterals, newspaper layouts for the MLK Parade. That was the first time ever they used the brand, and it combined the two. So it combined the North and South parade together to become one.
Wow.
And it was the first time that it was broadcasted live. And this has been happening for 33 years. So that's what's so crazy about it. So that's what I love to do with my work, is creating something that's actually bringing people together. So.
Awesome. And how did you have the confidence though, right? Because you're out the gate 1 year in. How did you have the confidence to show your work? Because I know they reached out to you. Like, I'm sure that helped. You're like, okay, wow, they think I'm special. But then at some point you have to deliver and you have to put yourself out there. I'm not sure if like that's easy for you, but I know that creatives can sometimes have a hard time. So how did you have the confidence to say, yo, I can do this, and here is what I've designed? How did you have the confidence to ship that? Was it hard?
No, I wouldn't say it was hard, because ever since I was 16, I wanted to start my own business. So I knew that I was going to have my own business. It's just matter of fact of going to college, learning the ins and outs of an agency when I went into the agency, and then just started my own business. Every time that I went into an agency, they would say, this is the best portfolio I've ever seen. So that built up my confidence. And then also just compare. I mean, we shouldn't compare ourselves with others, but I would like look at my work and look at other work, and it's just something special about it. I will hear that for every single client. They'll say it's just something about you that is like completely different than what I've seen before.
Awesome. All right. So you had been putting the work, and you've been putting the legwork, and you have been getting feedback, and that just built your confidence. You put the reps in. Sounds like that. Cool. So Cimone, so what is next for you? I mean, you're damn sister, you're making it happen. I mean, you're a hustler. You're definitely an inspiration for not just female entrepreneurs, for all entrepreneurs, and designers and artists. So what's next for you? Talk to us. What's coming up next? What are you working on now that you want to let the world know, you want to put out into the universe? Talk to us. What can we help you with? What can we shout from the mountains that Cimone is doing?
So you already spoke about the Black Creative Table, that my new podcast, and then I have a integrated co-working space within my space. So in my studio. So like I was saying earlier, that it has a podcast booth, a photography area, and I'm trying to build up a creative community here in the Dallas area where my space can be that creative hub where you can learn from each other, collaborate with one another, and just share knowledge with each other. And I'm pushing for creative entrepreneurs to be here so that if I'm having a project that I need help on, like say for instance with Amazon or something, and they need a videographer or photographer, I can just, reach out to the member basically right next to me and ask them like, hey, can you help me with this project? It's a huge project. It's just, like I said, just collaborating. Cause I know within my culture, we are very like ego driven and very competitive, especially in the design world, very competitive. And so I just want, I don't like that. So I want us to support one another. And my space would also have like us learning about I'm sorry, us learning about finances and how to buy a house and like mental health awareness. So I really want this space to really speak to the community and bring them here.
I love that. So from now on, our promise is that anybody that we meet in Dallas or in the area that we can connect with you to be a part of that, keep tabs on us, please, for when you launch that hub.
No, it's happening right now.
Oh no! I know the co-working spaces is happening right now. But if there's if there's a way that we can integrate some of our members into it,
nice.
such as like a Facebook group or something of that nature, let us know because we'd be more than happy to send some people your way. And next time John is out in Dallas, we'd love to connect to you because one of his early ventures was called Co-Found Harlem. It was exactly what you're doing over there in Dallas. It was a co-working space that was based on creative collaborations in New York, specifically Harlem. And then that phased into Harlem Capital, etc. So it would be an honor to put you in touch if he could be of any service to you. So
I would love that.
Yeah, please. And please, you know us now, we know you. Reach out if we could be of any service to you in any context. Our door is open. So don't be a stranger. It doesn't have to be business related or related to our business at least. Anything or anybody that we are or know or can introduce you to, please let us know because it would be our honor to do so.
I do have a question real quick.
Please.
How did y'all find me? Like, I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, that's the Going Places secret sauce.
That's the Going Places secret sauce. You've been hustling. You're making. The thing is that when people notice you, man. Right? When you work hard and you're putting yourself out there and you are leading by example, other people, your tribe finds you. And I think we're of similar motivations and purpose and mission. And that's why we wanted you on the show. And we are glad that you came on and shared your story. And John is not the only one that's going to go up there and visit you because I'm here in Austin as well. I haven't been to Dallas, so I would love to come up there, co-work. Maybe we can even shoot one of the episodes of Going Places there. So yes, please have us. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is Cimone Key and she is Going Places.